We're also watching shares of Cava.
Indeed, this morning we're watching those shares. Those are actually up this morning. The stock up about 2% there. The Mediterranean restaurant chain served up a profit in its first report since going public in June. Same-store sales soared up 18.2% from a year prior. Brooke DiPalma joins us now. Brooke?
Good morning, Brad and Diane. I mean, what a tasty report from Cava. Certainly wowed Wall Street yesterday afternoon. We did see record revenue and profitability from the fast casual Mediterranean chain. Revenue growing 62% year over year to $171 million. We also saw the company turn profitable. Net income came in at $6.5 million, and that's compared to a loss of $8.2 million last year. Some other numbers that stood out to us was that same-store sales number up 18%. Now, that was driven by an increase in traffic of roughly 10% year over year. We also saw price and product mix up 7.9%. And in addition to that, the company really weighing in on its rapid growth strategy here. The company opened 16 new restaurants last quarter, now bringing the total to 279. They also announced a new location in Chicago on yesterday's call, but that's a 43% increase. And so lots of Americans here are getting a taste of Cava as well as Wall Street yesterday after the bell.
Is this the next Chipotle? Is what a lot of investors have been thinking, both coming in to the IPO and even now, because the stock was actually up even more pre-market here.
Yeah, popped 11% pre-market trading, yeah.
Okay.
So certainly lots of analysts comparing this to Chipotle, but lots of analysts also focusing on the long-term potential here, just comparing it to that rival Chipotle here in terms of the white space that they have ahead of them. I mean, there is, nothing really like a Mediterranean fast casual chain. But one thing I do want to note here is that, executives here are noting that the second half of the year could look a little different. Of course, they had the IPO last quarter. They got a lot more awareness, a lot more attention. But then also the CEO noting on the call that gas prices, utility bill cost pressures, student loan repayments, and a hawkish Fed are looming that may put pressure on the consumer and may change behavior in the back half.
That's a note that we're hearing, especially with regard to the potential pressures being those student loan repayments, big overhang. I did like this analyst note. I love the, kind of analogies you can often go into with a company like this. Stifel saying Cava delivers a bowl of market spice out the gate. So, I found that interesting. They have a buy rating on it, and they pointed to what you said about the openings that was in line with what their expectations were for Cava. But yes, just the question of, is this a Chipotle play? And, I mean, they are unique in the type of food offerings they have, being a Mediterranean chain. Go ahead.
And no, I was just going to say that this year they plan to open a total of 65 to 70 locations. That's rather large, but really as they look to that long-term plan, 1,000 within a decade, they want to have a total of 1,000 locations within a decade. They're certainly, saturating the spaces that they're going to in order to really boost awareness. And, they do these community days when they get into new communities. And so for people who don't know them, for consumers who don't know them, they really do look to boost potential. But ultimately here, they're taking a cautious approach, they said, to the back half of the year, but they're still expecting same-store sales to grow between 13 and 15%. And they also do expect a profit margin of at least 23%. And so while taking a cautious approach, they do intend to do well in the later half of this year as well.
How are the prices right now for Cava? I mean, I'm just thinking about the comparison. If I'm making a lunch decision to go to Chipotle or to go to Brooklyn Bagel or to go to Cava, which one's going to give me the best bang for my buck here?
I mean, I certainly do want to say that it depends on what you get here, Brad. We had a discussion yesterday that bowls can run up. My bowl averages about 13, but certainly can run up to 20. Of course, they have lots of options.
Though, if you go on the low end.
Yeah, but I'm getting very basic. Chicken, three toppings like we're allowed. I'm not going crazy. I'm not adding double protein. I'm not adding extra toppings. I'm not adding guacamole. So
you're not doing the Brian Sazzi order, is what you're saying.
I'm not doing the Brian. I'm also not doing the Ali Canal order. She said her cost like $20 yesterday. So it really depends on what you get. But certainly, value proposition is everything that all these fast casual chains are really trying to play right now, especially as we're seeing those grocery prices come down and year over year, those fast food, that away from home category in the CPI report coming higher. And so really, fast casual and fast food really trying to double down on that value offering right now.
All right, Jesus be a salad bowl.
What you get.
Brooke DiPalma, thanks so much for joining us, breaking down all the lunch options out there and the stock price reactions to them.